And cleanup is underway after severe weather in Pickens County. Fox Carolina's Brookley Cromer is live in Pickens with an update. Brooke, what are you seeing there?
Well, we're seeing uprooted trees, down power lines, and debris scattered all around this downtown Pickens area. Now, I want to give you a look at some of the damage we're seeing. This homeowner who lives just outside downtown says that this pecan tree is at least 150 years old, but heavy winds uprooted the tree and took it down when the storm swept through on Saturday afternoon. The storm hitting Pickens just over an hour after former President Donald Trump held a rally on Main Street. Most of the damage in the city of Pickens and a few miles away along Pumpkintown Highway North. A number of fallen trees along East Cedar Rock Street near the downtown area where an old oak tree fell on a house and damaged the roof. And we've seen several trees on cars and a number of trees down in yards. And just off Pumpkintown Highway, part of Fox Squirrel Road has been closed since Saturday. Today, crews with the South Carolina Department of Transportation are clearing out trees and debris blocking the roadway. A detour is also set up on Highway 8 near Pumpkintown Highway while utility crews are making repairs. And thousands of people were without power on Saturday and Sunday, but this afternoon less than 10 people are still without power. Officials say it will take about a week to clean up the county.
At the height of the storm, the biggest majority of Pickens and about a mile or two outside of the city was completely without power. Right now we're in assessment mode, trying to determine exactly what may have happened as far as the weather event, if we just had straight line winds or if it was a mild tornado.
It went from partly cloudy and everything, and within 5 minutes, the sky was green and the wind was, incredible actually. And then I saw my neighbor's limb come off his tree, twisted off, and watched it come between my house and garage, jumped. So I got back under cover and looked down, and this tree here, it just started twisting, and then it just folded it in half and laid it over.
Pickens County Emergency Management has been on the ground all day assessing the damage, taking pictures, and talking with homeowners. They're working with the National Weather Service to determine if this damage is from straight-line winds, a microburst, or a tornado. And Emergency Management says they should have an answer sometime later this week. Reporting live in Pickens, Brookley Cromer, Fox Carolina News.